underrated influences, baby, bringing you that culture therapy that you want, need, and desire. She's not only stealing the name of the show, she's stealing my catchphrases. How y'all been, world? I got my co-host of the KESH. I can't even believe I'm saying this. The KESH and Tony show. I guess I'm buying into the madness. Which is going to tie into what we're going to talk about today, too. As we left you last, only been 3 weeks. I mean, it's 3 weeks, but we last talked about the hard reset. We were going to kind of, piggyback off that, but we're going to go into, world of confusion as well. I think the world is in a state of confusion.
It is in an uproar right now.
It is all
Lord
over.
Jesus,
no matter where you look, where you go, you got a little bit of confusion.
Yes.
But before we get into that, though, I did hear a young lady. She wasn't a young lady. She was a mature lady, and she brought reference to me and made me think. It really probably made anybody who heard the message really think about privilege. And we always talk about white privilege because we know that's out there. But
and children having privilege and they don't know the struggle.
But we have to realize that we are privileged as well.
Wow.
Because she made.
How can we be blessed instead of privileged? Or is it the same thing?
This can be the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, I know you're gonna go into the church aspect of it, and that's fine. Yeah, okay. Anyway, but that's fine. I have no problem with that. But where it's coming from, because she was saying that all the things that that we have today were things that we were praying about. Well, not us per se. Maybe the people that came before us were praying to go to a 9 to 5.
Oh, I can understand
to
that.
have a house.
Yeah.
To do these things that we take for granted.
Like it's just a given.
Yeah, just like it's given, but it wasn't given to our ancestors.
It wasn't.
They were, we wake up complaining about going to 9 to 5. They didn't have that to go to. So
That's right. That's right.
A mirror. We're looking in a mirror of our ancestors and what they wish that would be for us, and now we're taking it for granted. They probably would be like, damn, we were just wishing for y'all to get something. Right. Now y'all want even more, which is, it's fair. We always want more, but
right, you always gonna want more. You get to a certain point.
You have to look at, where you are in life. Certain people. Now we do have people that are still stuck in the middle.
They are.
Even in our own family.
But
friends, go ahead.
Are they stuck because they didn't put forth effort, or are they stuck because they don't have the resources? Because now it's a plethora of things out here that people can do, careers, jobs, trainings, etc. So if you're stuck, is it because you want to be stuck, or you feel like you're lazy, you just want something handed out to you?
Okay.
So why are they stuck?
And I was going to get into you're going way into the topic when we get into the confusion part, but I wasn't started with that part of it. And you said that they're stuck in a rut. But the thing is with that, you have to understand it was all planned anyway.
Ooh,
so
can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. Okay, so Keisha, let me tell you this. Well, back probably when in the 1940s and 50s, when people of color were thriving. When we had absolutely, we had not only that, we were in Carolina. North Carolina had the same thing where people were thriving. But what happened though? The government saw that. They saw that though. They saw that, and the white supremacists saw that as, hey, these people are not relying on us. They can make it on their own, and they were like,
I think too that our people were so in tune about fighting equal rights. They're going to get away from segregation and Jim Crow. They didn't realize how
that really hadn't even started yet. This brought that on. Wow. Now, when you think about what I'm talking about, even going back to the 1800s, late 1800s, in North Carolina per se, we're going to use that as an example. I was listening to a story about that recently. Now, they were thriving. Blacks were thriving probably just as much as whites, maybe even more. And the white supremacists, they were like, oh, hell, no, we don't like that. So they didn't like that, so they revolted. And they killed. They went on.
They blew it up.
They killed. They went on a killing spree. Killing spree. Killed probably maybe dozens of people, maybe even hundreds. Wow. They don't even know how many they killed. But anyway, we're not going to just go into this story. But that's where it started. And that's where Jim Crow started. So they were like, okay, hey, these people are not. We want them separate, but we want them not even equal. They can't even have their own. Now, they can't mess with ours, but we don't want them to have anything.
Well, now they did have their own grocery stores, their own
They
banks,
did.
their own businesses, but I think they didn't like the segregation part, so then they started trying to protest and fight for equal rights across the board, which may have at that
When you
time
say they, who are you talking about? That?
our people,
No,
blacks,
no, they didn't.
they did fight for it.
They loved the segregation. We wanted the segregation because we were thriving. They didn't want it. That's why I said that's why they went and blew up. That's what you're talking about, blowing up the banks, taking it and killing people. They were killing people. Any whites that were supporting black stuff, they marched them out of town. That's what happened in North Carolina. They
Now,
marched
Chico,
people out of town.
I hate to come back with you, but from what I know, and now you're gonna have me go and do a little bit more research.
This.
We had our own businesses, our own everything.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted equal opportunity.
Why? Why would we? When we're thriving, why would we? Well,
That's the question that we all ask now. See, at the time, that's why I said it was almost like a double sword. Like we wanted, hey, you're not gonna segregate us. You're not gonna split this. We're not gonna be color only this, color only that. So they fought for equal opportunity, not knowing that they really was kind of hurting themselves because we had our own businesses. We had our own world, our own entity.
Hold up. So you going way too far. I'm
Okay.
talking. This for you. You talking about after Jim Crow started? I'm going before Jim Crow was created.
I get what you're
Now
saying.
you're saying this. Yeah, we wanted that after Jim Crow because you know.
I think we still shouldn't have went there.
But we didn't have a choice when they
If
killing
you're
you.
protesting and trying to do equal rights, you didn't have to do all of that.
You
And again,
when
you
they-
know
when
what?
they-
Let me do some more research
Please do
because
your research,
maybe I
because
was
if you-
taught incorrectly.
Exactly. Let me school you on this North Carolina. All right, when they were thriving, we had people because it was like a great shipment point where they were doing a lot of shipping on the river, and basically what they did, they saw these people thriving, so they were like, "Oh no, we don't like this."
Mm.
So they went in there and they said, "Look, they got all the white supremacists, and they went in there and planned. They were like, look, we're gonna kill them all, and we're gonna tell all the white people that are supporting these people you got to get out of town." They sent them out of town. That's what I'm telling you. So this is what started the Jim Crow laws. So they were like, okay, we ain't gonna let them get anything at this point. So that's where we go from having our own to nothing. So we have nothing at this point. They like, you got to beg and scrape for
always
us.
taught that during the Jim Crow time that they had all their businesses, they even had their own black
Before
banks.
this is prior to this.
Mm.
Now we started
So
it
they
again.
must have left that little part out.
Now this was in the 1800s, late 1800s. Now we started it again. When you're talking about the Black Wall Street, we did it again. Then they blow that up. So that was not the first time though. Carolina was the first time when we were thriving
And this was
way
Carolina.
before. Yes.
Mm.
So you have to go back and start that, and then we go to, like I said, fast forward. Same thing happening again. It's always a vicious cycle.
That's
So
what I was about to say.
it's just the same thing happening again. As you can see that we're putting blacks out of politics right now. They wanted to
Look at
it's just a
Tommy doing his research.
Absolutely.
Uncle Willie, you want to chime in? Shouts out to Uncle Willie.
Hey,
Smokehouse.
the smokehouse. When we
No,
eat and
this is
drink.
about the word that was listening. I'm enjoying y'all. Just listen.
All right.
All right. So, but getting into this confused world that we're in, and
Ooh.
that goes
Where do
back
we start?
that's what I'm saying. So we have to start back, and since you started on the people that are kind of stuck in the mud, our own people, because we see it in our own family.
Mhm.
But what I was going at getting at it was about when they, and then they,
Who are they?
that would be
Who are
the people
they?
who are making the decisions. And I think it goes back to
Time
one of
out.
our
In our
presidents.
government?
Yeah, definitely government.
Okay.
Probably Nixon, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the most corrupt presidents in the history. I mean, we got one right now.
You remember that Uncle Willie?
I agree with
Oh,
that.
Richard Nixon was
But
a mess.
that's the way it had to be. You know,
Okay.
yeah, that's the way history was like that.
It is like that.
It is, and that's the
So
thing.
why you say
So-
he was one of the worst presidents?
I mean, because you have to understand that this guy, he was Watergate, first of all. We know the Watergate scandal. He was the only one president I
But he
know that
got off
resigned.
with
He
it.
resigned. Though. He actually resigned as
He
president.
had to. That's how
So,
he got away.
but he was one of the ones that put the black father out of the household. So
Ooh.
now that started a terrible cycle because that gets us to where we are now because not only are we seeing it now because we're seeing these young black youths act a fool but it's been by design all of that time. It's been
Well, it went back
design.
to say slavery time when they separated husbands and wives and children, and it was a control factor.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
control mechanism.
But they wanted even so we got out of slavery. So, but this is the next layer to it. It's layers to this shit. Y'all gotta understand. It's layers. This plan has been, and we are all
A victim of it.
we all are. We all are. Even the white people are, because when you even think about the white people that are confused as hell as well, especially the poor whites, because even
They're
though
easily brainwashed.
easily, because not even easily, it's just the fact that they give them a little bit, you know, they're gonna give them a little bit of line, and they like
Like
they like okay, because they were like okay, because even back when you have to think about when we were all poor people, black and white and black, and we were standing together because we were like, look, it was just
Poor is poor.
it's poor and poor. They were like, look, we go. So they were like, okay, whoa, now we're gonna give them throw you a little bone.
So y'all don't have to go
Yeah,
fraternize with those.
and so you can know that these people of color are beneath you, no matter what status. And that's where it started. And
Look at T-Lo today, y'all. Was it Tony?
that's where we are right now. Because even at the World Cup, you're looking at stuff today. You got people from Argentina, they calling people niggas and shit. I mean, really? All of them, and that's just it's just where we are, where it stemmed from, and all of this confusion. They saying stuff they have no clue about what they were talking about. Just hearsay of what this stupid ass country
Hearsay from
has
generation
made
to
us
generation.
believe, and making the world believe and see us as that. And that's what I hate. And that's why I say we're confused all over. I mean, no matter whether it's white, black, everybody right now, I think, is in a confused stage.
In all fairness, I think every race has some form of racism. I think we're all racist. I do. I think it's just in our DNA.
Enlighten me on that, please.
It's just in our DNA. Like you go to the grocery store and a white person kind of frown at you or look at you kind of differently, you're gonna automatically think that they're racist. They could have been having a bad day, or they could have felt like, wait a minute, you just skipped in front of me or something. But we automatically assume that they are racist. Even with Spanish people, you might go somewhere and get you some tacos, tequila and tacos. Shouts out to my favorite place. And maybe some Hispanic people are serving you, and if they kind of give you, if they're kind of like a little aggressive or a little just nonchalant, you can automatically think they're racist. So I think every race, every nationality has some form of racism. We all are just racist by nature. I don't think that we intend to do it. It's just subconsciously in the back of our heads.
So, is this kind of instilled in you as
Do you
a
agree
child?
I don't need no more letters.
I'm wondering, tell me this, Keisha, do you think that's instilled from your family values, or it's just in your DNA? I mean, please.
I don't know.
I think it comes from your environment.
Maybe it does.
I think it's your environment. I don't think nobody's born,
Racist.
I don't know.
And I can agree with that.
It's what's it? And let me talk about this there. We got to talk about these. We'll go into a lot of different issues. We ain't gonna stay long, but I'm gonna think about these black young men that are being killed with their white friends. First, we got Nolan Wells. And I don't even know if you heard about Jerry Jackson. Another one. I think that was in Michigan or somewhere. But his story goes the same as Nolan Wells, with a group of white friends. And this guy, Jerry Jackson, actually was hung. See, they don't put these stories out on the news because they don't want anybody to know. Then they don't, of course, the news media. That's a whole nother confusion right there. We got
Right.
to
And guess what? It's not freedom of press right now. Not with this presidency. There's no freedom of press. So if you try to tell the truth, if you actually put on blast what's going on right now, then you get blackballed or you get fired. So right now, there's no freedom of speech or no freedom of press right now. Not during this presidency.
It's awful. It's awful. But getting back to this guy, and they, of course, with the Jerry Jackson, they saying he was suicidal, hung himself, of course. Somebody gonna really go to a tree and they can get up to climb a tree and hang themselves. Really is almost impossible anyway. But we know what happened. But we have to be, and we got to explain to our children too, of color, to be extremely careful when you're out with a bunch of your white friends, and I'm not saying don't have white friends. Because
Right.
I know my children, they got white. That's not the
Yeah,
issue.
yeah.
But you have to keep your head on a swivel at all times.
That's
Do
right.
not trust them far as you can see them because they may have your best interest at heart.
Amen.
But you better know that their parents may, their grandparents may not.
Yeah.
So that's where they feel like if another one of those white people in that group are with some negative shit, they gonna be with it. In fact, they may not want to be, but they gonna be like, "Dang, am I gonna
They have to
with
do
with my black friend? I'm gonna go with my white friend." And
They feel
more than likely gonna side with the
because it's
white
a safety
friend.
factor for
It
them.
is, 'cause they may be dead too.
Yeah.
You have to understand that. So we, as parents of children of color, we have to be more into telling our children the importance of this.
And I hate that we do have to do that because I do agree. But then now it's like the cycle continues because now that I'm schooling my children about those possibilities, am I inflicting maybe that, like I said in the back of your head, a little form of racism now?
It's not racism. It's just, it's living. It's wanting to be alive and keeping your head on a swivel and take people where they are. You can believe in them, but you still have like, hey, just in case something happens,
This is how you
keep your
show out
eye
for them.
on them. I'm not saying that's prejudice to keep your eye on somebody.
Ah,
I keep
no.
my eyes on all the police. I don't give a damn who they are. When I see the cops, I'm like, look, you may not be able to get me, but shit might be. So I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm like, look, you stop me on this traffic stop.
Yeah.
I just saw it today. A guy was getting stopped. He's like, man, look, I'm not getting out. They forcing you to get out the car for nothing. So you have to have in your back. Of course. They not if they stop with a white man or woman, this cop won't be scared. Let's get this clear. They scared of these people. So and let's talk about too women on the other side. Our young women are being kidnapped and trafficked. So it's huge right now. We have to have our young men and women having their heads on swivels.
Yes.
And watching their every move because
you gotta watch everything, your drinks, what you eat, who you're around. You have to. Because next thing you know, you could be eating something and then you pass out and you're in a whole different country.
Exactly. And
Or
that's
state.
why we have to protect our women more than anything is the key factor because they are the backbone to this country, to this world, this society. The black woman is it. We have to protect them at all costs.
We are the people who are birthing the people.
And we put them on the bottom.
Every time.
We put them on the bottom. So
why is that though? Because there will be no people on earth if that woman didn't birth those people.
I think that's why. Because they know how valuable that woman is. And now they've made us, being men of color, to not hate them. I'm not saying, but we still
disrespect them.
Definitely. We are awful about that. I mean, because when you think about it, when we think about our heroes growing up, the Bill Cosby's, the R. Kellys, the Puffies, and all of these guys, what they're doing to these women, and we want to sweep it under the rug. And I've been a part of that, just trying to get these guys a pass when that's bullshit. They breaking these.
You trying to give them all a pass?
Not give them a pass because we kind of say that black men, we already got so much on us that we don't need. We got to be on their side. It's bullshit. And I feel ashamed for being a part of that. People that saying that, hey, Bill Cosby, the women deserve what they got. Hell no, they didn't deserve what they got. That man was spiking their drinks.
Okay, I'm doing
okay.
But if a man, and I think I said this before on a different show, if a man is inviting you over at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know what it is.
I'm not saying that.
So
no means no.
No
means no.
No does mean no. But you knew you were gonna say no. Why go over at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning?
She may have gotten over there was like the vibe is just not there. And then I don't give a fuck if she coming at your house at 2 o'clock. I don't care if you did it. I don't give a if she said no is no.
And I agree with that. But in order to
you made the psychotic, don't you know if I got your mind, I got your body?
I know. And that's why I won't put myself in that predicament at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning is never going to be a pleasant picnic outcome.
So you tell me.
That's the way you feel.
Tell me Keith. All right, so you in a position. You back in your days, you was had it going on. You still do. Exactly. But anyway, so with you, you have ballers, players, whatever. So one of these players, NFL player, maybe that may have known, couch you up to his room at 2 a.m. and you go. Willie nilly, young lady, 17, 18 years old. Well, 18, you in college, so
I'm gonna be ready to smash. That's what I'm going.
you're gonna be no doubt.
No
But when
doubt.
you get to that room and you just haven't changed the heart, then what? And then he forced himself on you. What you call that? Fucking
A
rape.
homicide, and I might have to shoot his ass.
Exactly. So that's fucking rape. So no matter what.
And I agree with that. He was wrong for drugging them. He was wrong for raping them. But women, sometimes you can avoid these situations by respecting yourself. If that ain't your man, if y'all ain't a couple, you have no business going there at 2, 3 in the morning unless you was
I gotta
dating.
disagree with you, Black Note, because like I said, just like Uncle Willis said,
We not going up there to talk at 2, 3 in the
men
morning.
are
We
very,
are
we are very
talk.
manipulative. Yeah, but we can get in your mind quickly. We in your mind, but you get to that point and a woman tell me, no, that's no. Oh,
And I agree with that.
what happened?
I agree
So
with
I
that.
feel like it's just wrong, it's just wrong, it's just
And I
wrong.
agree. But I'm going back to the part where you said, as women, we have to protect ourselves. So you knew the type of person that is. Everybody know how Puffy is. Everybody knew how R. Kelly was. Everybody know how these NFL, NBA players, I hate to stereotype you. If you're not my man, like we're not an item in a couple, then I may think twice about coming up to your room at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I know what it is. So I'm rolling it back as being proactive and protecting yourself as a woman.
I agree to a certain extent because a guy could be.
Because to me,
Wait, what
he
he-
get you a tease.
But
Like,
he's thinking that,
you
he's like,
got up here at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Nah. Listen, because you gotta understand that I'm coming from a man. I'm a man. We're gonna be very realistic. We're gonna be like, hey, come on up here. It ain't gonna happen. Chill. We're gonna go
Don't
chill.
believe what his ass say.
But I'm gonna make you believe.
Mm-mm.
Man, look, you got young, naive women.
That's why we got to school these young girls.
We have to.
If
That's
it's 2, 3
part of
o'clock
the
in the
confusion.
morning, he wants some ass.
Okay, that's part of the confusion right there that we have. Okay. Any other confusion that we got out there in the world?
These women have to stop jumping the gun so quickly. I think they need a guy, especially if he has certain credentials, and they immediately jump into bed with them
First night.
first night. And I ain't saying that it's bad.
That's not all.
Sometimes you might have a different outcome, but 9 times out of 10, that guy may look at you a little bit differently. I don't care if y'all been talking all night, and women are, but I'm talking about the women who you think that it's going to be something down the line.
Yeah.
You want a relationship, you want to be married. You have to respect yourself accordingly.
I agree.
Because if you jumping in the bed with this man and you just met him because y'all had a great night at the bar and y'all talk all night, that doesn't constitute you jumping in bed with him.
Exactly.
You need to build that foundation. You need to make him respect you if you want to be married or in a relationship. Now, if you just want you a little quick roll in the sack bed to each his own.
Full disclosure too. I'm gonna speak.
Uncle Willis said he got
I'm
something
saying,
to say.
let me let Uncle Will again. Go for it.
It takes as much to bury a woman as it do a man.
Ooh. So he said the man deserves his respect and the man deserves, okay.
It does.
Oh, it counts just as much to bury.
It's the
Oh,
same.
wow.
Both ways.
No such thing. It's no such
But I
thing.
must admit, though, Uncle Will, full disclosure, coming from my perspective, and a lot of guys that I know that men, and when they do meet a woman, they are trying to get to that thing ASAP.
ASAP.
Now, if we can get it on that first night, we
They're
are
gonna
going to
take
take
it. They're
We're
gonna
going to
take
take it. And that's probably, I can even say 90%. If I say 80% of the men in the world, if they can get it on the first night, they're going to take it.
So let me ask you this, Tony. Okay, you got it on the first night, right?
Yes.
Do you still feel like, do you respect that woman?
It depends. It depends. I mean, because honestly, I do believe in, you feeling somebody and if you feeling them that much and it does go to that level and you on that, just because you in the back of your mind, you be like, damn, if I can get it, anybody
Can get it.
But if y'all vibing like that and that's somebody that's your ideal mate, maybe your soul mate,
How you know it's your soulmate? Y'all just had a few hours of
sometimes
conversation.
that's all it takes.
So like love at first sight.
It's definitely, I believe it.
And I believe in it too. But better safe than sorry, women.
Agreed. Because 9 times out of 10, you probably
just won't get that-
you wouldn't get a call back from a lot of these guys the next day, even if you're super bad.
Super bad.
Because
But they're going to think
probably-
we super doing
he
that was
probably-
super
yeah,
everybody.
Exactly. And he probably got somebody at the house too.
And now you
Especially-
engaged up your
yeah,
goodies.
and when we talking about Atlanta, we know when I get my fellas on
Hot
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Atlanta, these guys got them in every county.
Hot
So
Atlanta.
believe me, so you gotta understand though the position that these women are in. Though they know the odds are stacked against them, so they just trying to get in where they fit
What
in.
the odds are, you ain't getting these goodies. You're going to earn this.
Okay.
And women, I think if you held these men more accountable to their caliber, to their level, then now you don't have to lower your standards.
Yeah.
Women, y'all caused this to happen because y'all willingly will be the side chick. He can call his wife and you sitting there quiet like a dummy. You take the little 30 minutes to an hour that he ditch out to you and you know he going home. So you women have lowered the standard.
Nixon
and that's
did it.
why
Nixon did it. Stop blaming these women.
It's
all
the
Nixon.
women.
That's Richard
It's the
Nixon. That's the
women.
whole plot.
No.
That's why we out there.
he made the men leave those Section 8 houses.
That's what I'm saying. And then
Every woman
with
that
that-
got Section 8, I ain't never
with
had
that-
food stamps, I ain't never had Section 8, never grew up with food stamps, never had nothing
we
Section 8.
talk about on a whole though. So, but if you go back,
And I know plenty of
you go
women
back
and
to
families that
generations
didn't have
though. If you go back to your generations before you, it happened in our own families. So that's just what it is.
Not in my house.
Not in your house, because you got to be. Because that's what we go back to what the lady said today. We have to be thankful for what we do have.
I
Because
guess that's their
just a
privilege.
generation ago, we weren't in that position to say that.
I guess we can agree to disagree.
Oh, yes, we can. What else? Anything else confusing about the world today that we can touch on?
Give me some food. Food stuff is number one.
You know, and then we are confused too, as people of color. Since you touched on that, sorry, let me get this one point out. Food stamps and all these government assistance programs.
That's why they can control.
I mean, no, it's not control. It's to help out families, but guess who was really helping? The white families. It's way more white families on getting government assistance than black families.
Yeah, man.
So please believe if they got rid of it, you know how these grocery stores gonna be.
Or they would have been got rid of it.
They would have, because if that's the only thing that can stop black people, they would have been cut our ass off.
That's right.
So please believe me that the white people are getting, they taking advantage of all this shit as they have always taken advantage of it.
I agree.
So please let's stop being confused about these poor
It's
black
just
people.
yeah.
No, these are plenty of poor
Yeah,
white
yeah.
trash people out there with EBT. They swiping them EBTs like a motherfucker. Get the fuck, don't even get started on the confusion about that. That's big time confusion.
I agree.
We had to go about the schools being, there's so much confusion going on because of the separation in the school systems for the whites and the blacks. I mean, come on now.
And that's what
It's
black
everywhere.
people started fighting during that Jim Crow era. They didn't want that segregation. They want their children to go to the best schools. They want their children to have certain opportunities.
No, but let me tell you what happened. Let me go iterate on that too, because what happened was we didn't get any funding for our school. Once they started Jim Crow, they gave us the bullshit, everything that was bullshit. It was what we had. So of course we wanted to go to your schools because our schools wasn't even fit for. They had probably 140 people in one classroom.
I agree.
So that's why we wanted to be integrated, because we like, damn, our shit is so left down.
I agree.
So you have to understand about that. So don't say that we did not want to have, because when we did thrive, they didn't want that. And we had a school around.
I never knew that part, so I'm gonna go back and research
Please
that.
do. Know
Because
that.
all I was taught in, I guess, my white
Oh,
school
no.
is
Exactly.
the Jim Crow law.
That's what they're going to teach you.
Exactly.
That's why we do want to be segregated, because they would teach us what we need to know about the world.
And you know what? I can imagine if it was segregation going on right
Bruh,
now,
we would
thrive.
And that's what that's why the white supremacists are so scared of us. They know who the chosen people are. They know that it's black people thrive in everything we do. We're superior in everything we do.
That's
When
right.
you put something in front of us, we like it's
We
done.
excel.
In everything.
In
Whether
everything.
it's not just sports. I mean, we smart as fuck. We don't
That's
even
right.
think we built this whole country
That's right.
for free.
For free.
We got the best doctors. We got the best lawyers. Anything that we put in front of us, we're gonna thrive, and they know that, and that's why white supremacy exists.
We bit the wire.
That's right.
Exactly. So please know that if we confuse that, because we are the chosen people,
We
and
are.
until we stick together though. We're never happy because those white supremacists, you know what? They sticking together. Whether they under the white sheet,
Every other
and you see them
nationality
marching
stick
under the
together.
white supremacist group hot as hell, and they got their hoods on, but they sticking together. So that's something we cannot do.
I agree.
And they will
Why
fight
we can't
for it.
stick together? Because everybody's scared that this person gonna do better than them.
Because
They're gonna have better than them.
brainwashing, cuz Nixon, they did it to us. When
They
you do
did.
this, and also they put in our minds that when you do that, they're gonna kill you. Our leaders that trying to bring us together and close, and we thriving, they killing us. We are afraid of the possibilities. We gotta stop being afraid and be
Well,
like, you
I
know
think
what?
we're only afraid because we don't have those numbers. We're not sticking together. So it's like, why should I stick my neck out here and my fellow brother ain't gonna back me up?
And another point too on confusion too, and I was listening to somebody talk about all our rich people too, and they won't even do it. You got the billionaires, they won't even go to a black doctor. They won't even support our black people either though. So I'm like, how we got the means?
Well, we don't know if they're gonna go to black doctor.
It's factual. It's factual. So you know it. You know Jay-Z and Jay-Z was so wrong with him, you think he'd go to a white doctor or a black doctor? All right, I'm just saying.
Hey, you will know black folks in the world. You just got it. No black folks.
That's what I'm saying. We are
No
confused.
black folks in this guy.
We are
You don't
confused.
even have a black president on this guy. He's the only president that I know don't have a black president with him.
We are confused.
You know what I'm
Tell
talking
them,
about?
we are confused and we got to get it together now.
So how
or
can we
never.
get it together? What's the
We got to stick
solution?
together. We got to stick together.
So the first thing is sticking together,
Stick
united.
together. And we got to unite.
Okay.
And we don't mind who unites with us, but we got to see the bigger overall picture that is one human race. And until we see that, we're gonna, be divided. Especially if people of color are gonna be divided because we're slowly becoming, we already on the bottom, but the Mexicans are coming over. This is gonna be Mexico here shortly. And they don't care. And they don't care. And they don't care about black people either. They don't care about black people either.
I got me some more niggas.
So please believe
I see
that
ready.
they gonna be ready to flip the script.
They gonna get nothing about the black people.
No, and that's why they bind up everything they can, and they know how to stick together.
They do.
Because they already, the
I
blueprint is
told
already
you
made
every
for them.
nationality, every race except the black.
Because you have to understand, we've
We
never
put
had
20 of
anything.
them in the house.
We've
We
never
put
had
eight
anything.
together.
We've never had
We
anything
beat
in this
together.
country. We've always been divided.
They saved you.
And when we stick together, they take us out. So it's going to be, I'm not saying this task is going to be easy. It's not going to be. It's going to be the biggest challenge that we've ever faced as a community.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
And we may not live to see it.
I just never, I think it's never gonna
But,
happen. I think that's why the world's gonna come to the end. It's already written.
But
In
that's
the
fine,
Bible.
too. So
So
I
I
guess
think
we better
before it
stay.
gets better, I think it's gonna get worse. And I'm not being negative because I'm the most optimistic person. Hey, fight for power, power to the people. But in my days that I've been on this earth, I just don't see us coming together to unite. Everybody's on their own agenda. Everybody's scared somebody's going to get more ahead of them and have more than they do. And I'm referring to the black race. I just don't see us uniting. And I pray that we do. But I just don't see it.
I agree with you. I really do, Keisha. I really do. But I guess we'll have to take this to win. What our young lady told us earlier when I was talking about, she was stating that we got to give thanks to what we do have, the places that we have come, it's stuff that we have, and the things that we've achieved. I guess that's gonna be enough.
We shall see.
We shall see. Well, we love to hear your comments on this, and let us know what you want to hear us talk about next, because it's always a pleasure to bring in that culture therapy that you want, need, and desire. Got Keesh. This is Tony. We from the A. Represent Memphis forever. It's the
Forever.
underrated influences, baby.
Make sure you hit that like button and
that's
subscribe.
and tell a friend to tell another friend that we are growing this shit, baby. Let's unite, baby. One front, baby. One band, one sound.
One band, one